Ha ha, people. You do not understand the celebration. This is the last Maleficent movie video. More than that, this is the last video of non-singing Disney villains of the Disney era. We are getting close to ending a chapter in this saga. Ha ha! Hello, and welcome to this part of the pond, where it's the bullfrog and the one and only Newt.
Face reveal at 100,000 subscribers.
All right. For those of you who are just passed by and saw that, you're probably wondering, what the crap are we doing? What we are going into? We are on a journey to find the Walt Disney Company's greatest dangerous villain. And we're not doing by opinion, we're not doing by a poll, but through a formula. And it's mathematical and essay. We're going to do the essay. But before we can do that, we have to talk about what we stumbled into. The reason why Sleeping Beauty is one of a kind. Why the animated movie Sleeping Beauty is probably one of the most original things Walt Disney did. Why is that? He made not an animated movie, but an animated ballet. The notes you hear in Sleeping Beauty comes from Sleeping Beauty.
Say what?
Tchaikovsky's ballet. It's quite good, really. I highly recommend that. It doesn't hurt your man card. Those song notes come from this. But to go into Sleeping Beauty and Sleeping Beauty, that is a complicated realm to go into. But how does this affect Maleficent being the villain? You're gonna find out. But that is really heavy, college thesis level heavy, I think, in my opinion. Newt?
Wow, impressive.
Before we get into that, let's go through the easy stuff first. Whew. So, let's get to it. This is Maleficent's Acts of Villainy. The first thing, let's do it by bullet points in this essay for the easy stuff. It begins, the moment where Maleficent really shows being a villain is when she crashes the party. Though, I'm going to be honest, I blame more the King and Queen than Maleficent. Why? Honey, we are sending out all these invitations, okay? All right. And, the king whose son we're going to betroth, nice choice. The various lords and ladies, understandable. The 3 good fairies, oh, that's going to be great. And what about the big, strong woman in the mountain with all that castle, who has an army, who appears to be all-knowing? Should we invite her? No. Makes no sense to invite someone that's scary. I mean, what's the worst she's gonna do? Invade? We have 2 kingdoms. We'll be fine. You're right. I mean, nothing bad's gonna happen, right? Right.
And die. Oh no!
Is that creature?
You did that! That's more the King and Queen's fault, people. Piss off the woman who calls herself the mistress of all evil. Good idea! But the mistress of all evil does pull a very bitchin' move. I stand by that. You know why? The curse. 16 years. Why make the little girl live for 16 years to then die? Why not kill her right then? It makes perfect sense. Why do you wait for 16 years? People grow dreams. People have goals. That knowledge that she has the future to be a mother, that knowledge that I can have that chance to live life at the fullest, to only realize you'll never see those again. This is the evil of Maleficent's curse. It's those hopes and dreams Aurora will want, but never have. This is the root of depression, of the dark thoughts, that helplessness to know that you cannot achieve that because of your circumstances. You need help. You need people outside to help you. But the people outside, this is the best they can do.
Not in death, but just in sleep, the fateful prophecy you'll keep.
You saw that. The best they can do, you'll be asleep, not dead. That got dark. And this is the beginning of her acts of villainy. Her second moment of evil in this movie is her and her henchmen. She realizes her guys are a little bit too literal.
In all the cradles.
16 years looking for a baby. Do you guys understand the concept of age? Wow. Suddenly I don't feel that dumb anymore. And Maleficent throws down the lightning. But notice something here. Notice those bolts of lightning she's using on her henchmen. Compare that to the lightning aimed at Prince Philip. She kind of knows that her lightning can't kill. But she uses the environment with her lightning to make the terrain go against the people. Her lightning tortures, but it can achieve dark goals. Not that iconic, but as it is cruel. Torture, and it's Maleficent being mad, which is not a kind thing to see. Her third moment of being a villain, taking Philip. When she tries to take Aurora, she uses her magic. But when she takes Philip, her henchmen get on it. And she's just sitting on the sidelines enjoying it. And what does she say after her henchmen take Philip?
But gently, my pets, gently.
I tortured you, and I grant you some leeway. I love you. You're my pets. To the next act of her great villainy. She lets her henchmen party. But that's not the villainy part. No, this is them celebrating a champion, a role. But Maleficent's not enjoying it. Maleficent needs to feel enjoyment. So she goes to Prince Philip and we'll hit pause. There's something far more important there, and it's far more complicated. That has to go into the ballet. We're going off of the easy parts. That part of her going to Philip is probably the most ballet of all ballets in this movie. We'll show you why, but put a pin in it. So after that moment that's being held on, we see Maleficent fighting Philip. She first goes long range. Sniper mode.
Hurry! Hurry, Philip!
Maleficent as long range is bad. But now when it's mano a mano, you and me, Prince, what do you have? What do I have? I have me the shield of virtue and the sword of truth. What are you gonna do about... Oh my goodness! And you swore! No one's ever seen that in Disney before. And this is no one's seen this in Disney before either. The closest transformation we saw was a beautiful woman going to an old woman. This is a boss turning into a bigger boss. This is Goku becoming Super Saiyan. Mommy! Maleficent is quite the bad one. So, she does the big bad battle. And she gets rid of the shield of virtue. But Philip also takes Maleficent down with the help of 3 good fairies. Take Maleficent out. She's dead, kaput, gone. Maleficent's evil is at an end, right? Not exactly. Remember, what is that sword called? The Sword of Truth. It's white and bright and all that is might. But in Maleficent's corpse, we see it gets corrupted. White becomes dark. And remember, there's that phrase, the ugly truth. And that's what that death is, in my opinion. And that's the animation side. Whew. All right. We're now going into college mode. And we will start like we did with Maleficent. We'll go easy to hard and complicated. The easiest way to describe Maleficent in form of ballet is the music. All of these notes come from the ballet. Uniquely, we're going to talk about the 3 good fairies. When they grant Aurora a blessing or a gift, you see these funky animation bits. What is the reason of that? That is a solo. It's beautiful, it's nice, and when you listen to those notes are from solos from the ballet. And each one is a fairy. But one. The Lilac Fairy. We'll get to her. But I want that in mind. Because the first musical moment that is Maleficent, not when she enters, but when she bestows the curse.
She shall prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and die.
That moment right there is all sound effects. It's not real music. But that was Maleficent's first solo. Not real music. We see the 3 good fairies. Beautiful, majestic, nice to look at. Maleficent, sound effects, green to that still. That is her first musical moment. That is her first solo. Compared to everyone else, it's very anti. We get to now the second beat of Maleficent's music side. From her entering to her capturing Prince Philip, she has a theme song. That theme song you hear in the ballet. And that is Puss in Boots and the White Cat. In the ballet, when the Lilac Fairy, I think I can get my names wrong. If that, I'm sorry, I'm kind of notorious for that. But the Lilac Fairy puts the whole castle under sleep. Well, among the people in the castle was the White Cat. Puss in Boots has been looking for the White Cat for all these years. So when these two are reunited, Puss in Boots and the White Cat have a duet. That duet is this feline sound. Well, Walt Disney and the head of music and the composer said Maleficent's theme will be Puss in Boots and the White Cat. I can't help it. I love Antonio Banderas. The Spaniard is just plain awesome. That song is in at its prime when Maleficent lures Aurora to the spinning wheel. That's when the song of reunion between 2 cats is at its most loud. They'll say, bullfrog. That's the point. It sounds sinister. It's reunion. It's the secondary form of reunion. Well, there's a lot of reunions in the ballet. But this one is more prominent because A, sounds more villainous. But at the same time, what is the plot of Sleeping Beauty in both ballet and animated film? Princes and princesses getting together. It's about reunion. She's under spell. They come and save her. This one song shows that Maleficent is kind of mocking in reunion and fantasy. But this is at the lower level. That low level is Aurora being put to sleep and Philip being captured. You'd never hear that song again. But this is an animated ballet. The plot of ballets is very short. Paragraphs, 2 pages. Not that much. But still there and prominent. Ballets is all about nonverbal cues. It's all about movement. Now, this is what happens when you have that. Aurora and Prince Philip don't talk after Maleficent takes them out. They never talk again. The last thing you hear from Aurora is her tears. It's the last thing you ever hear from her again. The last thing you hear from Prince Philip they never speak again. What happens? Maleficent takes them. Aurora and Philip aren't the main characters. They are the symbol of plot. The female half of plot she puts to sleep. The male half of the plot she keeps alive and locks it up. This is Boots and Boots and the White Cat's duet is separating the two and muffling it. We get to this. Cabrosa and the relationship of Cabrosa with Maleficent. Cabrosa in the ballet doesn't really move that much. She's very counter movement compared to Maleficent. She is not really moving. She moves, but not that much. When Maleficent is at her most active is her as a dragon. We see this relationship, Cabrosa and Maleficent. And when you see Cabrosa's theme at its the most height is the Forbidden Mountain itself. Everything about Forbidden Mountain is Cabrosa's theme. Whenever you see it. And Maleficent, when that song is being at its prime, is not really the main focus. This is Maleficent not on screen, but you feel Maleficent's presence. Maleficent's not there. So what happens when something's not there? It's not being drawn. It's anti-movement. And once you think we are done with this ballet theme, and what does it mean? We now get to the most complicated part of it. Maleficent's second solo. That pin we talked about with Prince Philip, let's pull it out. And this is what it's all about. This moment where Maleficent talks to Philip, being the Saturday morning villain. I'm going to tell you my plan and I'm going to monologue. That moment, I think, is Maleficent at her worst. Why, Bullfrog? That doesn't make sense. Remember about Boots and Boots. It was a song about reunion. Well, the song you hear here, those notes, that music is the Lilac Fairy, who we talked about also. The Lilac Fairy is the most important fairy in the ballet. She's probably on screen most of the ballet than any other character. Her music is her countering Cabrosa and Cabrosa's curse. Her music is putting people to sleep. Her music is sending the prince towards the princess. That is the theme of the Lilac Fairy. The Lilac Fairy's theme, the Lilac Fairy, the main character of the ballet, is Maleficent telling Philip what she wants to do with him.
You, the destined hero of a charming fairy tale come true.
In that castle tower, a girl sleeps with golden hair and lips redder than a rose. It's that peasant girl who happens to be the princess you're betrothed to. And I'm going to let that reunion happen. And you will come to her as the hero that you are, tall and strong, standing on your horse, going to her, and give her true love's kiss. And that love conquers all. That's her at her worst. Why? The Lilac Fairy. That song, throughout the ballet, counters Cabarossa. That song is the second solo of Maleficent, and this is Maleficent at her best. I mean, artistically, visually, delicious. Musically, it's beautiful. I like Tchaikovsky, and this is one of my favorite parts of Tchaikovsky is the Lilac Fairy theme. Right here, Maleficent breaks the fourth wall, Deadpool style.
You might want to look away for this.
And goes into the ballet itself. That song is meant to be anti-Cabarossa, but Maleficent saying all this stuff is being anti-Lilac Fairy. I will let the prince kiss the princess. I want that reunion to happen. But that reunion, the woman will be still beautiful. That spell that the fairies have done preserves her and keeps her safe, and the kingdom's safe. But you will come to her as an old, aged man, bearded, decrepit, not that much of a hero. The only thing keeping you is your strong heart. And when you give her true love's kiss, she will see an old man, broken, held by that one belief that love will conquer all. But she won't see the gallant warrior, that prince, an image. She will see the old wizened man. Will true love conquer that? That the person that broke her from her spell is that old man? Wait, this is true love's kiss? I am destined and being loved by you. Not a young man, but by you. This is what Maleficent is doing. She is mocking love. And that beautiful music that is in the ballet, she's remolding it and reshaping it to her. This is her second solo. Maleficent is the main character. The three good fairies are her co-stars. She's the main fairy. She's the Lilac Fairy of this animated movie. It shows it in the music. It shows it how she just hams and owns the screen whenever she's on. When she goes and moves, it is meant to be counter to everything that is beautiful and good. When she moves, when she's at her most active, she's a fire-breathing dragon. When she dies, she shows that truth is an ugly thing as well. She mocks love. And she wants love to happen, but on her terms. What villain can you name lays that down? I want love to happen, but on my terms. This is Maleficent at her worst. She's the main character. She holds the plot captive. She muffles the characters so they cannot speak and they'll never speak. But when they are coming down those stairs, the plot is there. The point is made. Love does conquer, but love comes at a price. And what is that price? 3 fairies, 3 colors, 3 shapes, a circle, a square, and a triangle. Blue, red, and green. Colors, shapes, movement. Those who are the most involved fight that what doesn't move. It's the only way how truth and virtue can get out of the forbidden castle. Those 3, without them, Philip would never have gotten out. Those 3, without them, Aurora would have been lost earlier. Those 3, not in, would make a far depressing movie. The 3 good fairies are the real heroes. This is a character, as iconic as she is far more unique because of music. From the theme of Cabrosa, from the theme of Puss in Boots and the White Cat, and the Lilac Fairy. Her music proves there's something more to her. Sleeping Beauty, the animated movie, is an animated ballet. If you think I'm wrong, do me a favor. Before you go in the comment, hash us out in the comments. Please watch Sleeping Beauty, the ballet, and then the animated movie, and compare notes with the music. If you look at the behind the scenes of Sleeping Beauty and how it was made, Walt Disney wanted to remind people that's too Disney. We are not going for that. We're going like a tapestry, not that much round stuff. That song is too Disney. And where does this put Maleficent? The acts of villainy shows us where do we put them in the color code system. Red, yellow, or green. Well, I say, from what we've talked about and what we gathered, she's a red. A high red. She's cruel. She loves twisting what the world perceives. She wants the world to exist on her terms. We are now finding the villains and putting them there. When the free-for-all happens, keep your bets. Things are going to get crazy. And until then, it's the Bullfrog and the Newt signing out.